You know, when you like slap a bald man's head for luck.
That's right, yeah.
You vape and you blow up my face for luck.
Is that what you do? Do you slap bald men's heads
You don't,
for
I mean, you
luck?
don't slap.
Wait, a face? You slap a bald man's face for luck?
No, you like.
Is that what you said?
No, you kiss his head.
You kiss his head?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you
I don't
said
think you should slap them.
I don't think you... No, definitely not.
Bald men, I mean, to go with stereotypes, they're, you know, pretty gnarly dudes.
I don't think you should be kissing them either, really. I mean, randomly going up to people's...
Excuse me, can
Can I kiss
So
your
it's a
head?
big day for me, mate. Can I just have a little smooch?
Aren't you supposed to, like, kiss a leprechaun as well or something? A midget?
A leprechaun.
Can we say midget? We can't say midget, can we?
Can you kiss a ginger
don't know.
dwarf?
Hello, geeks and geekettes, and welcome to another edition of the Geekstation podcast where we talk movies, TV shows, games, and all things geeky. I am Sinn, and as always, I am joined by my co-host Martin. Say hello, Martin.
Hello, Martin.
Yeah!
It's just me.
It's just you.
I was going to do a rolling thing, but I think no.
No.
We just got to let go.
We've just got to move on.
We've got to move on.
That's it. It's just the two of us now. That's right.
We're refreshed and re-energized.
Yeah.
We are awaiting David's return, but in the meantime, we will verily hold down the fort.
If he ever comes back,
If he ever comes back.
Yeah.
I don't know. He might just, get too into guns and explosions and stuff like that.
Well, he is in Texas.
Exactly.
So that might be a
It's
possibility.
the place to be for guns and explosions, right?
That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's in all their tourist brochures.
Yeah. I don't know. I've seen like an infomercial or something with "Welcome to Texas."
That's right. Yeah, I can see it now with the font and the big fake explosion.
Yeah.
And
David with a cowboy hat.
That's
Yeah.
Do you think he's got an accent yet? Do you think he's got a Yoko accent?
I think he has.
Yeah.
He seems like he's always waiting for this opportunity to become
a Texan.
Become a Texan man. A San Antonian.
Yeah. Hello, David.
Hey,
if you're listening to this.
How you doing?
And hello, our fellow listeners. How you doing? Welcome to another edition of the Geekstation. I suppose at the top, I should say, if you are listening to this, welcome to the 19 or the 22 new subscribers that we got in the space of kind of 24 hours, 36 hours, something like that.
Yeah.
It was absolutely mental. My phone just kept going bing, bing, bing.
Notification
I was like,
central.
Yeah, I had to put my phone on silent when I went to bed because it just kept going bing, bing, bing. And I was like, Jesus, what's going on?
It's just e-fame, Sin.
Yeah,
that's what it does to you.
That's it. So thank you. If you're listening to this for the first time or the second time possibly, welcome. Welcome to the podcast.
Welcome, you guys.
So we're going to be talking about the awesome BBC, I think BBC/Netflix. I honestly don't know where the money comes.
It's BBC produced it and sort of bankrolled it in the first place, and then Netflix were like, "Hey, this is good. Can we use this?"
Yeah,
and then they were like, "Yeah, cool."
I don't know if they give them any money or not. I don't know, but
I would imagine so.
Probably, yeah. But yeah, we're going to be talking about Peaky Blinders, which is
the Peaky Blinders.
That's right. Yeah,
it's my Arthur impression.
Yeah, I won't try and do any impressions because I'll fail miserably.
I'll probably need to restrain from the impressions because this is just...
No, do them all through.
I like it.
I want more impressions. I do. I want
the Birmingham.
That's right. Oh yeah, the Brummie accent. I tell you, it's impressive. Cillian Murphy,
yeah.
I'll tell you what, how he's managed to keep that up the entire time. He's a good actor. But anyway, we'll talk about it.
We'll get to that when we come to it.
Because first we have the news. I don't know. You can't see this, but I waved my hands in the air, and then Martin did a little.
It was the Team America signal.
Yeah, that's right. Yes.
Welcome to the news.
The news. Woo. Anyway, and now I just want to do this. I don't know why. I just want to wave my hands. It's
liberating.
It is. It feels good. Anyway, let's start with number one because that's a good place to start. Lara Croft, Tomb Raider.
Tomb Raider.
I think it's actually just called Lara Croft. What's the film actually called?
It's called
what? Please watch this. Please.
Tomb Raider. I think that's the name of the game. Was just Tomb Raider.
It was, wasn't it? Yeah.
Despite the fact that it had not many tombs. The first one.
Yeah, it's just called Tomb Raider.
Okay.
So this is the second trailer now. The first one was a little bit of a tease. This one kind of is doing what trailers are doing now, which is, hey, here's the movie in 2.5 minutes.
No, yeah, exactly. And it's the
yes, it
silence.
Was, yeah. Although,
and then the remix of Survivor.
Yeah, although I did actually was quite good. I thought it fitted in with the trailer. I thought
it worked.
So I didn't tell you this when we were watching it a second ago, but I'm quite excited about this film.
Yeah.
Because looking at that trailer, I actually think that it might be the video game movie that
does
turns the. I think it might be.
honestly don't think so.
No?
I think it will be mediocre.
Okay, sure.
But
All right.
I like the look of it. The aesthetic looks good. That guy who's like the Daniel Craig step-in kind of assistant, not assistant, but the evil guy.
The bad guy, yeah, sure. I mean, we don't know any of the cast. It's awful, isn't it?
That guy, I've seen him in stuff before. He's like always the guy who's like really pervy and a bad guy because he's got a bad-looking face, but I'm sure he's a lovely bloke.
In real life, I'm sure he's a lovely bloke.
I saw it first and I thought it was, what's his name? Andrew Lincoln? The Rick.
What's
his name? Rick from Walking Dead.
Oh, Andrew Lincoln, yes. I
thought it was him. I was like, what?
Oh no, that would be awesome, wouldn't it? Yeah,
that'd be strange.
Dominic West, I believe, is his name.
Yeah.
And Nick Frost is in it apparently. Actually, no, I think.
Really?
Did we see him in the trailer? I'm sure we did. Maybe his face or something like that.
Oh, I would have lost my shit if I saw that.
Is it the Nick Frost? It is the Nick Frost.
Of course it is.
I think maybe he was. No, he was in the last trailer. And we had this exact conversation when we talked about the first trailer. I'm sure we did. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I'm quietly confident. I don't know why I'm quietly confident.
I mean, the formula-wise, it's not going to rock your socks off. But if it is a fun action film, then it will be a success. But some of the like cuts between the quotes they had. One, he was like, it's like, and it's like, open the tomb. It's like it's the most generic thing ever.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So Alicia Vikander, who's the
what's she in?
Well, okay. So we were looking at Academy Award. She was in The Danish Girl alongside what's his face,
Eddie Redmayne.
Thank you. And she won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress.
Oh.
She's also been nominated for Golden Globes and BAFTAs, and she's married to Michael Fassbender.
Oh.
So there you go.
So he did Assassin's Creed. That was terrible. She's going to do Tomb Raider.
She's going to, bring it home for the family, maybe. Who knows? I don't know. But I'm as I say, I'm quietly confident. So that's, anyway. Let's talk about Edge of Tomorrow / Live, Die, Repeat.
Yes.
Were you a fan of this Tom Cruise, Emily Blunt sci-fi?
I didn't see the film, but I read the original
You've never seen the film?
No.
Oh, my.
Because it's one of those things, like, I was like, this is a concept that's already in a manga. Why don't I just read the manga? Because that's probably better.
I forget that you haven't seen films. I
haven't seen films.
You need to watch this film, man. It's really
it good?
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah.
It was when Tom Cruise went through a spate of doing good science fiction films.
Okay.
So, like, I think it's really, really good. And Emily Blunt's in it, and I just think she's good in anything she does anyway.
Pretty good.
Anyway, I was bringing it up because the director, Doug Liman, has basically said that they are making a sequel. They've been saying on and off for years. But he says they do definitely want to do it. But him, Emily Blunt, and Tom Cruise want to do it when they are ready.
Yeah.
So it is in the works, but it's kind of. But I just got really excited when I saw this as the headline. I was like, yeah, this is cool. It's a really good film. It's a really good film.
Really good?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just I don't know what makes it good. It's just it's because it's such a generic sci-fi idea.
Yeah.
And as you quite rightly say, this has been done 100 times before, whatever. But it's the way that they execute it is really well done.
Yeah.
And even though it's a Tom Cruise film, he doesn't feel like he's the center of attention in this film, which is...
That's odd.
I mean, he is the center of attention.
Of course.
But it doesn't feel like it is. Probably because Emily Blunt's so good and she just, like, takes the attention.
Takes the brunt off of it.
So, yeah, I don't know. I was excited about that, but wasn't it? What would you know?
Good.
You haven't even seen the first
What would I know?
So yeah, watch it. That's Sinn's hot tip. Go and watch it.
Sinn's hot tip.
That's right, yeah. So a little bit of Star Wars news. It's not really news, but there was a story, the Lucasfilm Story Group, they released a video. They've actually released a couple kind of podcast and video type things where they've been discussing Star Wars Rebels and The Last Jedi and all sorts of things as to why certain decisions were made. And this was really interesting. The tipping point for deciding whether they would get rid of all the canon or the previous established expanded universe was because of the death of Chewbacca. And because he dies in one of the books saving Han Solo and Leia's son, Anakin Solo.
Anakin
Solo, yeah.
Wow.
Basically, a literal moon falls on him.
Okay.
And yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I haven't read.
This
the
is all
books.
extended
I don't know.
universe
That's
stuff.
right, exactly.
It's
Well,
wild.
or now legends, as they call it.
Yeah.
And basically, they were like, "Well, we're bringing back Star Wars. We're not going to bring back Chewbacca. So
we're not going to have a kid killed by a moon."
That's right. And they were already like on the fence of it. And apparently, that was like when actually, let's just scrap the whole thing.
Yeah.
So
I think I don't really. I wasn't that involved in the extended universe to sort of have an opinion on whether that was a good idea or not.
The only books that I ever read, there was a trilogy, and I can't for the life of me remember what they are. I'm sure if someone's listening, they might know, but they were basically
Tip of the tongue.
Yeah, tip of the tongue, the teeth, the lips, tip of the tongue, the teeth, the lips. I don't know why. Anyway, sorry.
That was odd.
Yeah, and it was all about basically like a bit like the First Order, but it was the remnants of the Empire kind of in control of this star system, building themselves up.
Okay.
And the Emperor had cloned himself, and there were like 15 different clones of the Emperor, like running around being all emperor-y and stuff. I was really young when I read it. I must have been like maybe 12, 13, maybe even 14. So I don't know. I don't remember a lot about it. But yeah,
I remember seeing a lot of those books in my school's library, and I was like, "This is a lot of stuff and a lot of."
And you just wanted to read all of them. And then you were like, "No, I'm just
like, I think I'll just yeah. I've seen Star Wars. I'm waiting for the prequel trilogy. Thank you. So I'll save myself.
Yes. Oh, what a mistake that was. And obviously Shadow of War, Shadow Empire. The N64 game.
Shadows of the Empire.
Shadows of the Empire. That was
with Dash Rendar.
That's right. Yeah.
Dash fucking Rendar. What a bad. He was like literally like the story was like, oh yeah, this is just a guy who's kind of like following after the events of the main story.
It's basically it's Han Solo, but it's not Han Solo.
It's not.
Yeah.
He's even more of a badass.
The two biggest things I remember from that was playing on Hoth. That was the opening level.
That was iconic.
And it was because it was basically a direct rip-off of Rogue Squadron.
Yeah,
it was like pretty much the same level.
It did Rogue Squadron before Rogue Squadron did it.
That's right, yeah. And then I remember not completing it because I got stuck on the bloody...
It was a hard game.
I got stuck on the IG-88 boss battle. I don't know if you remember that. He was on like this scrap planet.
Yard.
And I could not kill him for the life of me.
I think because it went... was that like after there was like a Tatooine like speed bike section or something like that?
Possibly, yeah.
And then after that there's like a scrapyard. I think it's like Boba Fett boss fight or something. And then you go into like the sewer level, and I remember the
sewer level because that was hard, because that was like a maze.
And it was like you had the jetpack.
Yeah, that was
hard. That was hard.
Oh, I don't know. Anyway,
it was a good game.
That was it. It was remaster for the win.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Ryan Johnson did not put the Knights of Ren, because this is a huge contention. Everyone's like,
oh yeah,
where are the Knights of
Where
Ren?
did they go?
Knights of Ren? Oh, cry. Anyway, sorry. It just really annoys me because it's just like everyone's going crazy about like where are the Knights of Ren, and it's like, so what? Who cares that they weren't in it? But basically,
maybe there's a reason.
He didn't put them in because he says basically he probably would have killed them. He goes, I guess I could have used them in place of the Praetorian Guard, but then it would feel like wasting them because all those guards had to die. So it's like he was like, truth is, I just didn't see a place for them in the movie, and that's fine.
That's okay.
That's exactly.
I feel like maybe they should have been referenced. They should have been acknowledged.
Well, but they kind of were, because we found out that the Knights of Ren were
Luke's disciples.
Exactly.
Yeah, I guess so.
And the thing is, this is what I don't get. I mean, I understand. Again, we talked about this last week a little bit, but I get why people, are a bit angry and they want more.
Yeah.
But we got another J.J. Abrams film to come.
Wait until the trilogy is complete, until having your final complaints.
Exactly. And it's like he's going to bring those characters in, things in, and it's going to be fucking awesome. So hush your gums. Your gums is what I say to people. So there's a few announcements that have happened this week. It seems to be the week of announcements. So the first one is the Nintendo Labo announcement.
Labo.
You put this one, and I was going to put this one on as well, because I just think it's awesome. So do you want to take this one? Yeah,
sure. I mean, it's Nintendo saying, okay, we are doing a cardboard series of peripherals for the Switch, where you put the Wiimotes, not the Wiimotes, sorry, the Joy-Cons into various different cardboard creations that you've folded and cut out and all this shit, and they work as separate things, like the fishing rod, like a telescopic fishing rod, like a backpack where you're a robot and it's got like strings attached to it. It looks absolutely wild.
So it's like, basically, I mean, and this is the preview that I read, was Nintendo are making money by printing cardboard now.
Yeah.
Because you're going to just buy these sheets of cardboard and then pop them out, fold them up, attach your Joy-Cons, and you've got...
And then you've got this whole thing.
It's such a weird concept.
I like it. Like, it was the announcement was billed like, hey, we've got this thing that's going to be for kids and for adults that aren't quite yet grown up.
Yeah.
You know, go for it. And that's exactly what it is. Like, I don't see myself necessarily going to be... I want to try this out. I don't know if I'm going to stretch to £60 to sort of try it, but...
Is that how much it is?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
like the game and all of... Well, there's 2 sets. The first one is like the piano, the fishing rod, and all this shit.
Yeah,
and then the second set is the robot one.
So how's the piano going to work? Is there like IR or something on
Essentially, basically on the top of the Joy-Con there is, I think it's like a infrared beam.
Yeah, okay,
so
sure.
when you're pushing the keys, it will, from a certain distance from the Joy-Con, it will register that, and then it will output the sound.
And then does the robot walk? I don't get how the robot works.
I think it works via vibration. Because there's HD rumble in the Joy-Cons, so it's going to vibrate and then move it in that way. I think it would be like a bug, like sort of just like hopping along.
Okay, I'm with you.
But a lot of that stuff looks really cool. Like I saw it, I was like, I'm not necessarily. This isn't really for me. I'm not the target audience for this. But this is an awesome thing. This is Nintendo again going. You know what, PC, and Xbox and 360. You know, you're just gonna keep doing this arms race of making your things more powerful and all that. Meanwhile, we're making fucking cardboard over here. Like, it's different.
And the thing with
out there.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing with Nintendo is that like they do these things, whether it be the Wii remote or the Joy-Con idea, or you know, all different types of things like that. And some of their ideas land and they're amazing.
Yeah.
So I think, I mean, I don't know, I haven't got a Switch, but have you taken the Switch round to someone else's house and used the... And...
One of the first things I did, I got Street Fighter Turbo 2.
Okay.
Literally, I took it around my mate's house, got a couple of beers, put the Joy-Con on the table, and you can play two-player fight off, and we were just fighting there for hours.
I think that type of thing I absolutely love. And then, you know, obviously things like the Wii, not the Wii, the Wii U. Mm-hmm. That didn't
land so much. I liked a lot of the games on that, but it didn't.
But then they took
much.
the concept of the Wii and then the Wii U with the little screen, and then they came up with the Switch.
And they were like, "This is halfway between a console and a tablet, or a handheld."
So it's like
great.
Some of the things they do really land and change the way that we do things. So you know, I think this is awesome. And if they can, because the first thing I saw, do you remember like a toy called Meccano? Probably still around.
Meccano, yeah.
So I can kind of see them doing this type of thing, but like they start, you know, putting a little bit of programming into it and stuff like that, and then suddenly your kids are, you know,
a little bit engineer-mindedly,
and I just think that's really cool.
I think that's good. It's almost like education, isn't it? Because
exactly,
a lot of these things, especially the robot one, like there's these strings going through the backpack, and you know they need to have sort of a certain amount of leverage to move your arms and for it to operate correctly. So there's a level of understanding you need to have in order to build that thing.
I think
great.
I think it would be really good. I think it would be really, really good. So yay Nintendo.
Yay Nintendo. They are the ones taking the risks in the industry. They always have been, and they continue to do so, which is a really great thing.
Even when something really fails, like the Wii U, it's like, hey, let's just do something else.
We're going to take another risk.
Why not?
Obviously, because the Switch landed in a big way, they now have all the creative freedom to go and chase after that stuff.
I mean, I definitely have to say, I'm not really into Nintendo games or anything like that. Although there are a few titles on the Switch that I'm really I would play. Yeah. So the Zelda obviously is a big one. Things like Mario versus Rabbids. Stuff like that. And I've never really had a handheld console. So I could probably see myself maybe getting one this year.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the thing with like having a 3DS. Like, you don't always take that. That's not something you take out and play, you know, on the bus or on the train all the time. But most of the time you're sat at home with your 3DS, like, I don't know, just like about the house, which is fun. And it's what you can do with the Switch as well. But you get obvioly a full console experience.
Do you plug it into the TV as well at home?
I rarely do that.
No, really?
I'd rather just sit there. Like, it does... Graphically, it isn't as good as it is docked. But honestly, most of the Nintendo games are optimized that well that you don't really notice the difference.
Yeah, well, I mean, they've got like Doom and Skyrim on it and
Doom
stuff
and
like
Skyrim.
that. So...
I mean, those third-party titles there is the difference is more apparent with those.
Yeah. But it still runs really well.
It runs absolutely fine. Yeah. And like with a lot of them, it's like it's an accomplishment that this is running on this thing, and it's absolutely fine. It might not look the best, but you know, you don't come here to to play a game that looks like that because that's what the other people are doing.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And I'm tempted by Skyrim to go back to it, but it's just like...
we're digressing a little bit from the news here, but I mean, I heard a few reviews of Skyrim that basically they realise how dated the game is when they play it.
Yeah.
Just like the movement and the combat is just like, it's not...
2011, dude.
God, is that...
That is a.
God, we were talking about bloody
wake-up call.
Wallace and Gromit earlier on, and like how old I was feeling, and now we're
Now Skyrim was fucking 7 years ago.
Jesus Tempest
Christ.
Fugit. Dark Souls Remastered has been announced.
Dark Souls Remastered. Yeah.
Are you a Dark Souls fan?
Yes.
I despise those games.
Really?
Because I'm shit at them.
It's hard. It's so hard.
I have no patience for them.
Really.
I can't do that kind of. I see. With me, I'm with computer games. I always want to feel like I'm moving forward.
Yeah.
You know, and it's on my what are we playing thing. I've been getting back into Batman Arkham Knight, and sometimes I get really fucking frustrated with that because I'm tapping the buttons, I'm trying to do the combos and I can't, and I've tried this fight like 6-7 times, and I just have to put the controller down, otherwise I'm going to fucking break something.
Yeah.
And I feel like Dark Souls within like a minute of playing that.
Oh, dude, yeah. Like you do understand the progress you make as you incrementally move into a level and understand there's a guy around this corner who's going to jump me, so I'm just going to position myself here and quickly kill him, and it's like the most incremental progress you make. But when you're hammering your head against a boss that you just can't figure out, it's just like, what do I do? There's the despair. But I really love those games because when you do figure it out and when you do pull it off in a good way, because you need to firstly understand what you need to do. You need to find that out by dying a bunch of times, and then you need to execute perfectly. And then once you do, like I get like visibly like very excited whenever I beat a boss like that. I'd stand up like triumphantly, like fuck you.
I did it, Mum. Yes.
And it's like that's the payoff for those games. And I think the world building they have in them as well, and some of the I don't know. I'm kind of bored of like playing games that are just easy. A lot of games are sort of pandering towards that.
No, sure,
days, but
I get that, but Dark Souls
is very much in the other direction.
Yeah, that's it. I think it goes too far across that line.
But it's, I mean, the main thing with this news for me is that it's going to be on the Switch.
Oh,
so the first Dark Souls, that will run absolutely perfectly on there, I imagine.
Okay, sure.
And I just really want that game because playing that on the go will be great. And I haven't finished it because it's. That's
I mean, that's good. The thing is, like, I understand that they've got a massive following, and I understand that lots of people do enjoy them, and that's totally cool. That's totally fine.
Yeah,
it's just not for me.
It really is one of those games. Like, it's like you either love it or you hate it, but it puts itself clearly. It knows what it is, and it's not going to change that anytime soon.
Yeah,
to pander to a wider audience, which is great.
No, we don't want them to.
Exactly.
You know, exactly.
Stay you, Dark Souls.
Don't ever change. So a gaming announcement that I'm really excited about. Did you ever play Theme Hospital?
Yeah, I played a little bit of Theme Hospital, yeah.
Okay, so the original developers from Bullfrog and then from Lionhead, minus Peter Molyneux, have come back together to create a new studio, and their first game is called 2 Point Hospital, and it is a spiritual sequel, if you like, to Theme Hospital. The trailer looks sick. And even though it's like really short because it's all rendered out, but then it's just a really short bit of gameplay, and I am so excited about this.
About that, yeah.
Like, me and my brother were like, because it was what we used to play when we were younger.
It's one of those classic like PC games, like fucking Roller Coaster Tycoon and that shit.
You know, and it just looks amazing.
It looks good. I saw that it was like Sega. I didn't realize that because they're going to be publishing it, right?
Yes, that's right.
But the developers are all the old heads. That's good because I was looking at it and I was like, if this is some like American ass shit,
no,
because that was like a very English game.
Yes, it was. Yeah, for sure.
Very English.
And it, like what I even like is in the trailer they've got like a fake telephone number and it's an 01729 number or something like that, and I'm just like, yeah, bring it. No 555 or anything like that. It's really
exactly.
Good. And what I'm even more excited about is I read an interview with on PC Gamer with the guys, with the developers.
Yeah.
And they're starting with this, but they want to make a whole kind of sim world type thing.
That would be cool. All, like a Sim City,
but all with the same universe.
Yeah.
So it's all going to be in that same kind of wacky, crazy thing, and they're going to do a maybe a theme park one, maybe a zoo one, maybe just
they do need to like roll that out on a grander scale.
Just bringing back all those old old school Bullfrog. I mean, that's my childhood, right?
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
That's like me playing on my old dad's PC with like Windows like 95. Just like, oh my gosh, loading it up DOS and playing.
I remember those like the fucking the little cutscenes they had. And it was like that really weirdly rendered, like kind of like.
Well, that's what they've tried to make.
Exactly.
Did you see the trailer?
I looked at it.
Okay, it just looks. Yeah, I got the feels, man. I got the feels. So
bringing it back.
I'm excited. So Simon Pegg. This is exciting.
Okay.
Simon Pegg and Nick Frost are working on a new TV show, described as a cross between Shaun of the Dead and Supernatural, called Truth Seekers.
Okay.
It's going to be like a half-hour comedy show. It's all in pre-development at the moment, or in development. They're still shopping around to see, like, find a channel that will take it. So it could be
Netflix.
US, could be UK, could be Netflix. We don't know. But I just think this is brilliant.
Those two working together is always very, very exciting.
And doing like Nick Simon Pegg, Nick Pegg.
Nick Pegg and Simon Frost.
That's right, yeah. Simon Pegg said that like it's going to start off quite small, and like it's just going to be like they're just like two guys, and then it's just going to expand into this like huge thing, and I just love the idea of that, like because I mean, with those two as well, it feels like for them to go and do like the very like real and base level story at this point, because they're like big Hollywood. Yeah, sure. It's kind of strange, but I like for them to get back to their roots. Getting back to their roots. That's exactly it. So I am super hyped. I mean, we may not see it this year. It may be
I'll
next
wait
year.
5 years for that.
But the fact that they're doing something like that, that
a TV show as well. That'd be really exciting.
Exactly. I mean that. Yeah, it tickles my jimmies. So I'm looking forward to it. And the last bit of just a trailer that you picked up on, which is called "Don't Worry, He Won't Get Far on Foot." Yeah, which is Joaquin Phoenix.
Some like feel good happy film.
Yeah, Jonah Hill, Jack Black's in it. It must be an indie film.
I think it's about the life of some guy. I don't know if he was like an illustrator or something.
Based on a true story. We don't really know much about it, but it just the trailer just struck us as just being like
one of those like super feel good indie films of the summer. I'm just looking forward to Jack Black doing something that's like a bit more serious.
Yeah, good. Well, we were saying, weren't we?
He's got such a good range of like I don't know, just acting skills.
And when he does something serious, he's really good.
Yeah.
Like he's the
man.
And the film just strikes me as something that's going to make you laugh, make you cry. And just at the end, you're just going to go, God, I feel good about myself.
I feel great after that.
Yeah,
that was a roller coaster.
Yeah, so I love films like that. So
I was looking at obviously the Sundance recommendations as well. It looks like one of those fully indie films that I fucking love the shit out of.
Yeah. So check out the trailer for that because it just looks good.
It looks fun,
and we don't always.
Happy.
And it's not geeky. There's no it's superheroes, there's no explosions, but it's exactly. Yeah. So that's our hot tip. Hot tip.
Spicy hot tip.
Spicy. Anyway, that's the news. Unless you have something else.
News. That was kind of the jingle for the podcast I listened to, which is not.
One day we'll get some jingles. I promise.
We'll have an actual jingle.
One day
I'll come up with something.
Yeah, please do.
We're
on week 25 now. We've been doing it for over half a year, and we don't have any jingles.
We don't have a jingle.
Christ, we've been doing this for 6 months. Holy
sweat balls. Year anniversary will be a big one.
That will be about the time when we get the
bring
trailer
back
going.
all the guests we've ever had. No one.
It's gonna be a good show. That
celebration.
One. That's right. Yeah.
Maybe we should do a stream for it.
We'll start streaming this at some point. When I tell you what, we'll start streaming this when somebody leaves us a review.
When somebody leaves us a review, and I'm able to compose them a song.
When somebody leaves us a review, I will. I'll do it because at the moment that hasn't happened yet.
Or maybe our 22 new subscribers might want to pitch in together and crowdsource a review.
Yeah,
one letter at a time.
Well, somebody's listening. I don't know where all these bloody subscribers came from.
I think they They recognise talent.
Yeah, well, maybe
They know
that's
what's going on here.
maybe that's it, or maybe I mean I don't know. It just came out the blue, but anyway, I'm not going to complain.
Not at all.
So, shall we move on?
Without further ado,
Peaky Blinders.
Peaky Blinders.
So, this is if you haven't seen this, and I'm warning you now because Martin's in the room.
Spoilers!
There are 4 seasons of Peaky Blinders. That is 6, 12, 24 episodes. It's all of it currently is available on both iPlayer.
3
and...
seasons on Netflix.
No, but I think it's all available on iPlayer at the moment. They released like a whole load of box sets for Christmas. They may have taken them down.
We were trying to watch the we only caught the first episode in time because they were taking the 4th season off.
Okay, sure. Yeah, because for the iPlayer for Christmas, they released like loads of box sets.
Yeah.
But anyway,
nice
okay. So yeah, 3 seasons on Netflix,
and the 4th season is
on iPlayer. But you've got to catch it soon. Got to catch it soon. Yeah. So if you haven't seen it, go and see it because it's really good. It's
phenomenal.
And we're going to spoil the shit out of it.
Yes.
So you have been warned.
Yep.
So Peaky Blinders. So stars. Is it Cillian?
Cillian Murphy.
It's not Cillian,
He's Irish, isn't he?
Yeah. Cillian Murphy.
Cillian.
And Sam Neill's in the first series. Tom Hardy makes a reoccurring appearance in the second, third, and fourth season. And the entire cast really is incredible.
It's pretty good.
So basically, in a nutshell. I'm in a nutshell. Help me.
Peaky Blinders in a nutshell.
Go.
Peaky Blinders in a nutshell.
Yeah. Describe to the viewers what Peaky Blinders is.
So, Peaky Blinders is set in Birmingham in the 1919 following the World War One.
Yes.
A group of recent come home from the warers, tunnelers, the Shelby family, who decide to start up a crime syndicate. Betting and fixing horse races and stuff like this, and it just follows their escapades as they try to rise to the top of the dog pile.
Yeah, that's right. It's basically 1920s gangsters in Birmingham. Yeah, I mean,
which is really, really. I heard that setting and I was like, that's interesting because everyone always just picks London, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So they were like, Birmingham, we're going in Small Heath,
it's very loosely based on a real gang called the Peaky Blinders that actually did rule Birmingham for a little time in the late 1800s. But then the war happened and everything changed and actually I was reading about it because the gangs in Birmingham in real life did actually get taken over by the Italians and the people like that and the Sabinis and things like that. And it was like, oh, okay, so they have they've taken these general.
It's
facts.
Just like a kind of a template for things they just work in. But I like the whole fiction of it. It's just like here's a Small Heath is a real place.
Yeah.
And they've just gone, well, yeah, this is kind of the setting for it. Use your imagination, make up the bits in between. Because
absolutely.
This is an alternate reality, essentially.
So, we're gonna probably skip around a fair amount.
We'll dart back and forth between.
So one of the things that really gets me about it is that the first thing is that it's not all set in 1919. It starts in there, and I think the final series is 1925. That it starts Christmas 1925. And what
period of 6 years.
Yeah, and what I really like is you see. I mean, it's also to do with the budget as they can start adding CG in. But you see Small Heath kind of go from a factory and a warehouse to a factory, several factories, more warehouses, and I just love the evolution of the world that they're in. And it starts off in 1919 and everyone's talking about the war and there's it's grim and it's dark. I mean, it's grim and dark all the way through, but everyone's but oh, Jesus, sorry if you're listening to this in Birmingham, guys. Jesus. Martin's views do not represent those of the Geekstation.
Half of my family's from Birmingham. I'm allowed to say this.
Okay, that's all right then. Can you do a Brummie accent?
All right.
Oh, very nice.
How's it going?
Oh, nice.
Owie yow.
I need you to do that for the rest of the podcast now.
Please don't make me.
But no, I just really like the fact that the tone, even though it's about about gangsters and it's quite dark and it gets really quite dark in a couple of the seasons.
Yeah.
But you can feel the general tone of the world change in that time.
Yeah.
So it starts off, as I say, everyone's talking about the war. Everyone's depressed about the war. All, most of the men have died, all of that and everything. And it's horrible and depressing. And then by 1925, they're all right about it. It's like, oh yeah, we were fought in the war. Yeah, it's all right. I mean, Cillian Murphy has a bit of a breakdown. End of
towards
season 4, which is actually really, and that's the other thing as well. They deal with this shell shock,
the
post-traumatic PTSD really well. Arthur's character particularly.
Yeah. You can feel his pain on that one.
Yeah, and there's also there is a character. I mean, they say I can't remember his name now.
Danny Whizbang.
Danny Whizbang. Yeah. That's it. And he
has fits. He's Whizbang because he like jumps on the floor like there's a bomb and starts swinging at people. And it's like
and he has real true PTSD, which they cure by faking his death.
Yeah,
which is
they're like go and do something in London, occupy yourself, and go and do some shit, and then eventually.
But I'm pretty sure there's a line when he's on the boat at the end. Is it the end of the first episode or a couple of after Cillian Murphy's gone to shoot him?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure his uncle kind of goes, yeah, well, he Tommy did that to knock some sense into your head or knock the stuff out of your head or something. Yeah. But Arthur's character's the one. Because he starts off and you think he's a bit of a wuss, you kind of Tommy. He's the
oldest, but he's not the leader.
But then as the seasons go on, then he starts to get a little bit brutal, and it's like, oh gosh, what's going on in his head?
He's one of the characters that I felt most compassionate for. Like, just, you can obviously understand, he's got to put up this front for the family and be the savage animal, and he genuinely has all this anger sort of pent up inside of him. But obviously, as he tries to rehabilitate himself. And having like conflicting emotions about that as a viewer as well, because you're like, oh, Arthur, don't go soft. Like, I like you when you're being wild, but at the same time, that's not good for you. And then obviously, addiction and all this sort of stuff comes in as well. But
oh yeah, of course, yeah, with the what do they call the cocaine?
The Tokyo.
Tokyo. That's it.
Tokyo or
so much cocaine in this.
Yeah.
And it also tells the story of how they take this little bookie criminal, a bit of a kind of protection racket gang, to international
legitimate
business, the Shelby Corporation, with offices in Boston and and I just love how like for example they get their export license by bribing Winston Churchill when he's the Secretary of State because Tommy Shelby does all like these.
Oh, that's so good how they do that stuff.
And they don't do it. What really got me hooked on it, it was in the first series, and they do it a little bit in the second, and the third and the fourth. They they tell different stories. Yeah. But Tommy's always got a plan. And in the first series, it's so good because you're going through. It's only 6 episodes a series, hour long. Because that's how we make TV in the UK.
Because that's how the British do things.
That's
let's keep it short and let's keep it sweet.
Short and sweet, to the point. We don't need 22 episodes of this.
No.
But he has a plan.
He always
through
has
the
a plan.
Entire thing, and like you're halfway through the series, and you're like, "Where's this going? Oh gosh, it's all gone Pete Tong."
Yeah.
And then at the end, you realise like, "Oh no,
he's got you."
Yeah.
I think as it escalates as well, he sort of starts to lose control, but regains it in different ways by always having to go to a plan and to sort it all out.
Yeah.
But I do like the way that the series escalated in that way. The first series you got what was the main villain? It was mainly just
the cop,
police
wasn't it?
guy,
Sam Neill, just basically coming in to say, "I'm going to clean up the streets.
I'm going to clean up the streets," and he's like, "Nope."
He was on the hunt for guns, wasn't he?
Yeah. And then the second series where that's the finale, and that is when they go to the races, isn't it? They go to Aston.
Yeah, so they're basically they want so the first series is all about racing and legitimizing their bookie business. And then the second series is about getting into London to start an export business. But actually, it's an export business, and then at the very end, you realise that actually no, they're also going to be shipping booze to America because of prohibition.
Yeah.
And then what happens in the third series?
Series is where the Russians come in.
That's right. Yeah, it's
that one's where it starts. It goes international at that point, and you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And then the fourth one, obviously, the mafia
is the vendetta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Changretta.
Yeah.
To be honest, like a lot of those American mafioso types, where they had just like them talking amongst themselves, it was a little less convincing than a lot of other stuff in it.
Yeah, it
was like passable, but like it was
Sure.
like noticeably like it wasn't as convincing as the Shelbys talking amongst themselves.
Yeah.
Obviously, they've had a lot more time.
Although the best
develop that,
the best bit, I mean, the best bit in that series though was when he comes in the Sabini's son. Is it Sabini's son? Not Sabini's son.
Changreta's
son.
Luca Changretta.
And he thinks he's won.
Yeah.
He thinks he's going to get Shelby to sign his business over and everything.
Sign the fucking papers. And he like
That's right.
throws the table and he's like,
and
get
he's
on
like,
your knees.
Well, I could do, but I made a phone call last night and I spoke to what did he call him? His actual name, Al Pacino's.
Al Capone. Alfredo Capone.
That's it. It's like, have you heard of him? And he just like,
he's just like, fuck.
and he's like, what does that fat fuck want? And it's like, and that's the thing. There's always just when you think it's all going wrong.
The thing, like it always like builds up to that. It's like, how much lower can you get? Arthur's dead. You know, there's the 3 remaining Shelbys here.
Yeah.
He's got all the papers. He's going to sign away all of his businesses. Tommy's already said he's going to do it. The papers are on the floor. He's telling him to get down on his knees and sign them. And then he's like, or I've got, the only way to fry a big fish is to find a bigger fish.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. And you see all those guys that are standing behind you pointing guns at us? Yeah, we now own them. And now they're pointing guns at you.
They work for the highest bidder.
That's right, yeah. And I love the beginning of the series as well. And this happens quite a few times throughout the series. But the beginning, when you think they're all going to hang, and it's all going to be bad, and then it's like the guy's talking to the king, and he's just like, and we need pardon for all these people because Tommy Shelby knows all of this stuff, and he knows all this stuff. And there was one other thing. He wants an OBE.
He wants an OBE. It's like, fuck's sake, Tom.
And by the end of it, he's bloody member of parliament for Small Heath.
Oh my God,
like,
that's the ending of it, isn't it? That's really, I think, that's what I was looking at it, like thinking like, are they going to end it here? But like there's a lot of legwork in that MP storyline.
Well, the thing is, they could have ended it there. And when we were watching the series, and I was like, I thought it was the last in the series. I thought that was it.
Yeah.
And it was a really good ending because it was them walking all down the stairs.
Yeah.
You know, Tommy's legitimized finally, properly again. Mm-hmm. And there's the sweeping shot, of course, minus their brother. That was sad.
Jono.
Sad times for losing Johnny. But I thought it was going to be a good ending. But I've read that they have commissioned a series 5.
That's good.
Which is coming in sometime in 2019. So we've got a while to wait. But
I think they're looking at that last sort of shot as well. Like it looks all happy in that, but then you start to like realize there's all like the Jesse, Eden, Lizzie thing going on, and you're just like, oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
But I really liked the way they worked in obviously the communism element, because to my knowledge that's not something that's really brought up in terms of British communism.
No, not at all.
And to have that like right off the bat, Freddie Thorne is a communist of the Birmingham Communist Party or whatever.
Yeah.
And to have that sort of because you understand it from American perspective, because there's a lot of films like, I don't know if you've seen that film Trumbo, that's like about like the American Communist Party and all this, and obviously how they demonized it.
Yeah, sure.
And to see, they did the exact same thing over here.
Yeah.
Because of course they did, because that sort of thing threatens the status quo.
Yeah.
I think that was obviously the really central part with the third series as well, with the Georgia-Russian war and all that.
Yeah, that's it. And you know that you think that the government's going one way with it, and actually no, they're doing it all because they want to do this.
Because there's this,
yeah. And so the themes of this, they're really well done, and they're not kind of shoved down your throat. You know, so it's they talk about these themes of PTSD, of, you know, communism, of the plight of the common man, you know, because everyone and the working class and all of that,
it's all
being
about
downtrodden.
Class,
and Tommy wanting to rise that social ladder. But it's just done in a really entertaining way. Yeah. It doesn't try to give you a moral lesson, but actually ends up giving you one anyway, because it's like, this is, you know, and it is it is dramatized, obviously,
Of course,
and
yeah.
it is larger than life, but in such a way that doesn't make you go. I mean, I admit, I accept what you say about the mafia. They did seem a bit OTT, but most of the time they just strike that nice balance between drama and real life and
a bit of realism. Yeah, no, I think it really, really did hit that in a big way.
So
yeah.
So okay,
I can't remember the point I was trying to make.
So what was it? Do you have a favorite character, a favorite episode, a favorite series?
I really. I mean, Tommy is a great character. Obviously, it's all about Tommy.
Sure, yeah.
But I think Arthur was like his sort of progression. I don't think it's obviously rounded off well enough at the current time because there is more time for it. But I really liked the journey he had. And obviously how he came into Linda and all that. I like the way that is sort of shown.
I love how season 3 Linda is very godly, very lovely and awesome, and then there's a moment in season 4 where she's doing a line of coke. She's
in the bathroom. Polly's like, don't let us stop what you came in here for. And she's like, all right then.
And then I think she turns around and goes, well, you're a proper Shelby now, aren't you? Like she's just completely changes everything.
It's like I'm like, is that a good thing though? Like they've just managed to corrupt someone else into it, and she's gone, oh fuck it, I'll do a deal with the devil then.
Yeah.
But I think the way it presents morality as well is like obviously like as morality is a shady topic, and you can't really it's not black and white. And the way they sort of present Tommy, a man who makes his riches and murdering and all this terrible things, but ultimately he's the guy you root for when he comes against people who are a lot worse. Like in the 3rd season, you've got the priest who's like facilitating paedophilia, and you're this guy is a shitbag. But this guy who's technically a shitbag who I've been following for like 3 seasons now, I'm well behind him. He's justified in what he's doing.
And to be fair, like they do, like Tommy really only kills or only loses his shit like when he has to. It's like so. There's a bit with the in season 4 with the vendetta when when you think Arthur's died. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I was like,
he's not dead.
Shit.
He's not dead.
And then he's telling his younger brother, he's like, take his eyes. Yeah. Because of course the Peaky Blinders, they've got the razor blades in their caps.
That is the Peaky Blinder.
You can use them as a weapon. He's like, take his eyes, and it's like, it's just brutal. Like sometimes he can just flick that switch.
Snap.
But it's only because somebody else has pushed him over. Inherently, he's a good guy. He doesn't like
he doesn't want to. He wants to be legitimate. I mean, that's the progression of his character as well, is trying to be legitimized and recognized as, an upstanding member of society, but trying to sort of downplay these things. But when people push him too far,
that's it. Don't mess with the Shelbys, man. But, do not mess with the Peaky Blinders.
I think that was a really good in the 4th season as well, when he had to obviously fake Arthur's death. And he knows that to convince everyone of that, he needs people to believe that he's lost his shit.
Yes, that's it.
So he gets into the fucking fighting ring and he shoots the gun in the air and all that, and it's just like, wow.
Yeah. So for me, my favourite was Tom Hardy, and
he is brilliant.
And the thing is, so for me, because I knew he was in it. And I knew he was in the 2nd series, and I was like, I can't wait to see, because his name comes up in the credits. I'm like, I can't wait to see him.
Yeah, that was the episode. I think it was the 2nd or 3rd episode. You see his name, and you're like, he's coming.
And
he's here.
And when you first meet him, there's that big long shot where he's like walking down through the bakery, in inverted commas.
Bakery.
And he's like mumbling to himself and stuff. And that character, every scene he was in, I couldn't take my eyes off the screen.
Exactly. He's just like electric.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
He's just such an eccentric guy. Like all eyes are always on him, and all the other characters are always just like, that's just how he is. Like he's just this...
Yeah. And the scene where all the Peaky Blinders come down to London to help the protection and stuff.
Yeah.
And he gives that speech where the guy goes like, it's funny, I can't see any bread anywhere, and everyone laughs. And he just
beats the shit out of it.
And just goes crazy. And the first rule is that, we never mention...
distinguish between fucking bread and rum.
And you just realise why he's such a good actor, and he's so good in the series.
I mean, I think more than anything, I've just seen recently of him doing more tame stuff, but he is actually that incredibly versatile actor.
Yeah.
He is that, like, it's almost like the way he plays that is sort of like Christoph Waltz-esque. You know, he's fucking crazy, but you can't take your eyes off him because he's so just entertaining.
And he's not Tom Hardy playing a character.
No, he is Alfie Solomon.
Is that character? That's it,
literally.
And I love. Not only do I love his performance, but I love his character. I love the Alfie Solomon's character because he is such an arsehole in every single way. He is two-timing. He's, you know, he'll stab you in the back one moment, and then the next moment he'll be like, "Oh, I'm really sorry about that, mate." You know, like I just like the bit where he gets Arthur like caught and beaten up and gets arrested. And then, like, he turns up in the next series, and he's sitting on the sofa next to him, and he's like,
just like, you know, seething with anger.
Yeah, and he's like, you know what? No, I did do a bad thing, and I'm really, really sorry about that, mate. And it's
he's
just
like, sorry about that, mate.
But then
you welcome God into your life.
And then the very like in the last episode where he's standing on the beach. Yeah, and he's like, "You're gonna look after my dog.
You're gonna take care of the dog, are you?"
He's like, no. I'm not going to. No, he's like, no, but take after the dog. You know, he needs. And then you think like, okay, Tommy's just going to kill him, and then of course he pulls a gun as well.
Yeah, when he's like, "Are you armed?" He's like, "No, of course not."
Yeah,
I'm riddled with cancer. I'm riddled with it, mate.
Because he's just an asshole. Yeah, and that's the way he's always.
I think it really sort of sums his character up in the third. I think it's in the third season when Tommy arranges a meeting with him and basically has found out he's the one who sort of betrayed him, and he's like, obviously he's like, they've got my fucking son, and he's like, Tom Hardy's like, you know, you're playing the game. Like, what do you expect?
Yeah,
like,
that's it.
Nothing is out of bounds. You can't lose your shit over this. This is how it's played.
Yeah, but then after he doesn't kill him, he turns around and goes, I didn't know about the son.
Sorry about that. Like, he has a degree of like morality and respect in it, but he understands where the boundaries are and that everything is fair play in this sort of crime world.
But I just love the way he goes. I genuinely didn't know about the son, and then Tommy goes, "Yeah, no, I know. I could see it in your eyes." And then suddenly it's like, oh, there's some respect there.
Exactly.
Even though we've just seen a scene where they've just like almost killed each other,
pointing guns. He's murdered one of his bodyguards. Yeah, he's like, "Oh yeah, it's fine though."
And he's given this massive speech about like, you know, that, as you say, that is the game. What you on about? Like suddenly, no. There's respect there because they're gangsters and they've got to.
Yeah, it shows as well in the fourth series when he's doing the negotiation with Changretta, and he's like, "Oh, you know, stick on an extra £100 because he's a very dear friend to me." Like, he respects him, but ultimately that's not going to stop him doing what he's going to do.
But in that thing where he's doing the deal, he's saying, "Oh yeah, you know, an extra £100 because, you know, he's my mate, and, you know, an extra £100 for you because you're a fop or a wop or whatever it is."
Wop. And he's like, "Oh," in the end he's like, "Another extra £100 because you're a fucking cunt."
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
And then I love it when he says it. He must be in when he says it in Hebrew or something. He's like, "Yeah, no, you're going to kill us all, aren't you?"
Yeah,
like, you know. And I just like he just knows exactly what it is.
Those two moments, I think of the third series as well, when they're speaking Russian around him, like, "This fucking Jew" and all this, and he's like, I understand that, and all that.
And he just like, turns around, and it's,
he's always holding the cards, is the thing. He always knows what's going on.
Yeah, that's it.
And that's why I think it was a really, really poignant moment before the boxing fight as well, when he's obviously speaking to Tommy, and he's like, "Fucking Margate, mate." He's like, "You know, I've got to have some rest." He's clearly saying to him at that point, "Look, when you think back on this conversation, you will understand that I've double-crossed you.
Yeah, right.
You will know where to find me."
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I didn't. Yeah. Do you know? I didn't think about that.
It's just like this gangster, like, crime psychology of it all, and it's so well done.
And he almost. And the thing is, he would steal the show completely, and I think in some scenes and some series he does, but Cillian Murphy is just so good in it that he holds his own in those scenes. Yeah. Like, so well.
I think you can really understand from the first time they meet, Tommy's on the back foot. Yeah. Because this guy is just so, like, intense and, you know, in your face. And then by the fourth series, it's like he is speaking at Alfie.
That's
like,
it. Yeah.
You know, I'm the man. You essentially are underneath me at this point. And he really puts that across well.
And you're seeing two fantastic actors playing two fantastic roles.
Yeah.
And even though, and this is the thing, that and we're talking about, you know, American TV and British TV, there are only 24 episodes, but by the time that episode rolls round, there is so much history between them.
Yeah.
You know what these characters have been through and gone through, and you just feel it. And it's this explosive scene on the beach, and it's just... It's so good.
It's brilliant.
It's proper British drama, really at its best. You know,
I think the way they flesh out those characters and the way obviously following Tommy through the entire thing, but the way you follow that journey is a really special thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And leading to that point.
There was a bit at the beginning of the fourth season when the vendetta has started, when they kill off Johnny, and what's his face, Michael's there as well, and I turned to the missus and I was like, well, this is it, they're just going to kill everyone off in this series because I
was like, Michael's not dead.
Oh really?
Yeah,
see, I thought
Michael's not dead.
I thought it was it. I thought they were just every episode like another member of the family was going to get bumped off, and but it was so like, because you knew it was coming, but even when it happened, and you just saw him go down, and with the machine gun, the Tommy gun firing, and then Michael's behind him, and he goes down too, and you're just like, holy, they're going for it. And it was such a like, and then of course that's the end of the episode.
Exactly.
You're just like, oh my god.
That's where you're left at that point thinking just like, oh shit, like where is this going?
And I have to say, I'm so glad that I was watching this as a box set, because if I had to wait like a week, like I don't normally get like that.
Yeah.
But when a show is that good and you're so invested in the characters,
there's so many times when I was watching it late at night and I'm like, I should really go to bed, but I can't leave it there. I don't want to fucking leave that there.
That's it. And there are episodes and scenes where it's really tense. You know, like when you know that something's gonna go down.
Exactly.
So the end of season 2, when Tommy's being captured by the three Irish guys, Sam Neill's final kind of revenge, if you like. Yeah. And they're in the field. They've made him dug his grave.
Oh, he's like, is a season ender.
And he's like, were you anyone in the war? I was at Somme and whatever, and they all go, yeah. And he's like, and he's like, would you give me a cigarette? And they're like, yep, one cigarette. And it's like, oh, respect, I love it. And then he's just there, and he's like, I'm gonna do this. Oh, and then there was the girl. Yeah. And then it just, and my heart was in my throat. I was like, what's gonna happen? They're in the middle of nowhere. So no one's going to sneak up on them and save them.
There's literally no way out of this. You're surrounded by 3 men.
That's it. And the gun is to his head, and you just like, and then
policeman, fucking bang bang.
And then it's like, Winston Churchill sends his regards, and you're like, oh,
you'll be of use to him in the future.
Oh Jesus! Like, it was that was pretty.
That was obviously. I absolutely did not see that coming.
No, absolutely. What did you think to Grace, Tommy's?
Grace, I think she was a decent character. I think she died at the right time.
I see, because I was really disappointed because when he was giving that speech at the end of season 2 about and there was a girl. Yeah. I was really hoping that it was the girl from season 2, the horse girl.
I liked her.
And
I liked her more than Grace.
And at the beginning of season 3, when you realise that he's talking about Grace because they're now married. Yeah. I was like, like I preferred the other one.
Grace is just well, she was always the one though, wasn't she? She was always the one.
That was it. Yeah, absolutely. But and then again, when she dies, it's a testament to Cillian Murphy's performance that you really feel the
anguish.
Yeah, and his
pain
and his anger as well. Like he is like, and that scene when they get Changretti, and he's gonna like, I'm gonna cut you up. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna make it last all night until the sun comes up, until you can't.
The blackbird crows.
That's right. And then I'm gonna kill you. And then Arthur just goes bang.
Like, no, this isn't us anymore. And he's like, oh shit, yeah, I guess we're businessmen now.
Yeah, like it was. It's moments like that. That's where it just comes out of nowhere that I just love, because you think genuinely that you're going to see a torture scene. Yeah. And that you're all...
From the main character.
That's right. And you think that that's it. Everything that Tommy's worked so hard to do, you think, it's going to be...
He's still this guy deep down, but then you're like, but is he really?
Yep. And then...
But yeah, I think some of the best parts of his performance was the fact that he's always so calm and so composed and in control when those moments where... Particularly for me, it really stood out when he's like smiling or laughing. You're like, wow, this is not a side you see of him that often, but that's just a testament to the whole like after war effect as well, where he's like, he used to smile a lot before the war, Tommy, and he's like, oh no, not anymore.
And I love they do it a little bit in season 1, and they kind of come back to it a little bit in season 3. But they obviously had a really hard time in the war. Obviously, it was World War One. They fought the Somme, and they were tunnelers, so they were tunneling through to the trenches on the other side, and causing havoc or whatever. And they've got the PTSD because, or obviously because of the war, but mainly because a tunnel collapsed on them at one stage.
Yeah.
And they thought they were going to die and everything. And I just love the fact that can all be alluded to. I think they probably only ever filmed like one scene with them in the tunnel.
Yeah.
And then they've just used that bit to flash back to every now and then. And I just think it's so powerful. They could have, at any stage, they could have flashed back to them in uniform, signing up or joining the war or just seeing death around them. Mm-hmm. But they don't need to, because it's so... what they showed was just powerful enough.
Yeah, I think it's like also this idea that like this single memory that is just like burned into their memory of this one tunnel, and obviously that whole idea there where they're like, what's on the other side of that wall there, and that's the enemy right there, and you got to sort of prepare yourself for that, and it's very, very powerful, particularly those scenes at the start, the first series where he's like smoking is it like a hash pipe or something, and he's just like, he just sort of like lies on the bed.
It's all heroin, isn't it? Or morphine.
Is it heroin?
Opium. Yeah, opium. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And he's just sort of like comatose on the bed. Then this is much better.
And he's doing it to make himself feel better. But every time he does it, he ends up being transported back there, and then it's even worse. And it's just like
self-fulfilling prophecy.
That's right. And I just, that's the thing, like the character development in these just 24 episodes. I mean, we've got to think, it's been going on since 2013, this show.
Yeah.
If this was an American show, they would be, close to 100 episodes.
Yeah.
And this is, each one of them is, an hour long, but there's so much character development and so much depth.
I think they really like it. Obviously, they just have the core sort of Shelby family, and those are the characters they really hammer home and focus on.
Yes, that's it. Yeah,
and that's what we've been watching for those 24 hours.
Yeah, but it's a testament to, as I say, to not only the writing but also the performances of all the cast. That a new character gets introduced, and you instantly know what they're talking about, what their deal is. Like, oh, okay, he, Arthur met his wife, doing this, and this, and now you understand that she's, this, and you get all of that, and you don't need 22 episodes or even 12 episodes.
It all out
exactly.
And fully explain it.
And it just means that what you get in an hour episode or 6 hours if you watch a series is such a tight, complete story.
Yeah.
That's just so well produced and acted and put together that it's such an incredible series, and I can't believe it took me 4 years to watch it.
To even pay attention to it. To be honest, I don't think anyone else particularly that I knew was watching it to even recommend it. I remember seeing it and being like, that's it's a period kind of looking gangster drama. I don't know if necessarily that's something I'll enjoy, but after watching it, I'm like, holy shit, I should have...
That's it. I think I saw... I knew... I started hearing about it after season 2, and I heard that Tom Hardy was in it, but then in all the like screenshots that I saw online or any trailers that I watched, I never saw Tom Hardy. I just saw Cillian Murphy, and I was like... And for such a long time, I thought maybe I'd made that up in my head.
That Tom Hardy
was in it. And then I think I once saw a quick trailer, and it opened with... Tommy on a horse, and I was like, you know what, I'm not going to watch this. I'm not interested in watching people in caps,
caps and horses
on horseback in the 20s. Whatever. Nah,
I can leave that.
And it was just because we had the week off after Christmas, and I was like, let's just watch this. My brother says it's really good. Let's watch the first, and I just from there
instantly. I think the first 10 or 15 minutes, I was just a bit like, What is this? I don't know. But then, like, once it really settles in, once you completely understand what that thing is, you're like, wow, I'm fully down for this. Let's go.
And what I absolutely love, and maybe we'll bring it to a close shortly after this, is that I love the theme tune.
Yeah,
the Red Right Hand.
Red Right Hand by Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds.
And I love the fact that it just the way that every episode opens with that,
with
and it's very
the bell tolling,
and very cinematic. And there's always it's usually with usually following Tommy walking somewhere or doing something.
Like a long shot. I think that's the very first scene is him on sort of horseback.
Yeah, that's right.
To that song.
And then and every episode, and then it's it goes the red right hand, and then it starts, and then in season 4, again, this is what made me think that it was the final series.
Yeah,
is that there's a couple of covers in there.
Yeah, I think throughout the series there is a couple of covers that they're done of it,
but they never change
different tonally depending on the episode.
Yeah, but they never. Yeah, that's which is brilliant. But they never changed the opening until the last series, and I was like, oh, okay, this is their swan song, but. It's just you just think what is this song? Yeah. But it just works so well.
You start to understand the lyrics from the beat, and you're like, yep, this is. I think overall the soundtrack of that show is pretty good as well. I mean,
absolutely.
There's nothing that's really obviously from that era apart from the records they play or whatever, but it all very fits tonally, like the kind of like scratchy rock music that's used in particularly some of those action scenes when the action is brought up and they just chuck in a couple of rocky tunes which really fit the mood quite nicely.
Yeah, it's really, really good. I've just read here the Red Right Hand one in episode 5 of series 4 is a cover by Iggy Pop and Jarvis Cocker.
Really?
So you just
That's
okay,
wild.
Sure, yeah, brilliant.
One of them, I'm pretty sure it sounded like it was like the Arctic Monkeys doing a cover or something. It was just this is very contemporary.
Arctic Monkeys did do a song in it was "Don't Sit Down Because You've Moved Your Chair" in episode 3, series 3, episode 3. So yeah, there you go. In fact, Arctic Monkeys have done one looking at this almost every series.
Yeah.
So it is. You're right. The music just adds to that atmosphere and that thing. And
that's one of the first things. Like watching it, I was like a bit disjointed between that because I was like, "Is this like 1919 drama?" But there's like this rock music.
Yes, that's it.
It took me a while to kind of digest it and appreciate it, but it works very well.
Because sometimes that doesn't work. Sometimes that just fails miserably.
Yeah, sometimes it's really like jarring.
Yeah.
But I think particularly one of the moments it really like hit home is when I think second series they go to a Sabini club and they're taking over and it's them like sitting down like, oh, we just want to have a drink and that, and then they're like, oh, you need to leave, and then they just start this big fight. Yes, and then it's like the band is playing, and then it's just like the music fits.
Yeah, that's right. I remember that, and and you're just like, this is odd, but actually,
and they got the blinders out as well, and they're like slashing them around the face. It's quite fun.
Yep. I always thought with the razor blades in there in the back, they always put their hats on like this. I'm just like, are you not cutting the back of your head or your hand? It's very dangerous. Health and safety would have a nightmare with those.
Would not advise doing that to your peaky cap.
Oh, look at this. During the initial broadcast of Series 3, BBC 2 renewed Peaky Blinders for Series 4 and 5.
Oh, so they did that long time
ago. So they
actually...
they knew it a while ago. Yeah.
I'm excited.
Cillian Murphy has confirmed he'll return for both series.
Of course.
This
is his thing now, surely.
Yeah, well, I mean,
this is his magnum opus.
Good for him. So yeah, anything else you want to say about the Peaky Blinders?
I like Peaky Blinders.
Peaky Blinders is really good. So if you've
also one thing I did want to a question I have: where is Carl? Ada's child.
Oh,
Freddie Thorne.
Probably in Boston.
Probably, yeah, just knocking about.
Because she had him season 3, or still had him, and then season 4 is all about her coming back from Boston, isn't it? So he's probably in school.
He's probably
in Boston
about there,
yeah, spending all the Shelby money.
Exactly.
And of course, Michael's in Boston, but that's why Michael went, wasn't it? Because for the Pacino deal.
Yeah.
Al Capone
sorted
deal,
it all out.
Pacino, he's an actor.
Al Pacino.
Al Pacino.
Your motherfucker.
Capone, Jesus. But yeah, that's where. So I'd like to see something in Series 5. I'd like to see some of this Boston stuff going on.
Yeah.
I think to see it in America. That would be good.
With the escalation of it, I think they have to clearly sort of like... They have to take it higher because obviously they've done pretty much... That's like the height of gangsterhood is having a mafia come in.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
I think the MP storyline will work quite well, but depending on who is the enemy at this point.
And I'm guessing. I mean, they're up to 1925. I wonder if maybe they'll go to the Depression, maybe 28, 29, maybe.
Good to work in, yeah.
And maybe the collapse of the Shelby. I mean, I don't know.
Collapse and then the rebuild.
We'll have to wait. It will probably be about a year. So,
yeah. I'm happy to wait.
Sure. So yeah, if you have made it all the way through to this part of the podcast and you haven't seen Peaky Blinders,
Just go and
just
watch
go
it.
and watch it.
Just go and watch. Watch the first season. You'll by that point you're hooked. So
yeah, no, absolutely. And well, I would apologise for spoiling it all, but we did warn you up the top, so
yeah.
You've got no excuse.
Which is rare for me. So
yeah, we will not be answering letters.
No.
So there you go. That's the Peaky Blinders. Go watch it. It's good.
It's great.
So let's move on to our infamous segment, what we've been watching / reading / playing. And if you couldn't see that, I was actually doing an air slash
with your hand.
with my hand because
there's a karate chop through the air.
Do you remember there was a time on like live TV when websites were just coming up, and every TV presenter always used to go, "Oh, visited us facebook.com /
They'll go www.
.com. And they always did the slash with their hand, and I'm just like,
and then you'd like hop on over to your PC and then
yeah, that's right.
Dial up sounds.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Oh man, I remember. Like I did when that was like really new. I watched a Horizon once on BBC One, like it's a science program thing for those that don't know. And there was a live chat with the with one of the people that had been in it at the end of the day, and it was like, but it was so. I remember like I had to submit my question, and it was popping up, and it was like popping up like a message board because it wasn't even like a live chat room. It was like more like a Reddit AMA type thing, but it was a live chat, and it was just remember like. Yeah, that was back in the day.
That was back in the day before we had all this.
Wallace and Gromit era, that was. So, yeah.
That's saying something.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we found out, I can't remember, did we say this? I don't think we said this on air. Wallace and Gromit, the original was 1989.
89. I wasn't even born then.
Jesus, you're young!
Yeah, I am 24 years old.
Jesus, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so Martin, what have you been watching / reading / playing this week?
/ everything.
Anything exciting?
I've been playing more Nier Automata.
Okay. Have you done one playthrough yet?
No, I haven't. I'm about 8 hours in and I'm still not done.
Apparently it's right after that.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I've heard there has been several apocalyptic style escalations in the story which are very exciting.
Because I haven't played it. Mm-hmm. I've decided I'm not going to play it. So next week, I want you to tell me what this mind-blowing thing is.
I need to know that too, but I'll definitely have reports back then. Good. Still enjoying it very much. It's a fantastic game. Mm-hmm. It's absolutely fantastic. The way that it's not really. You can't really pin it. It's a hack and slash, but it's a shooter. But it's a it's everything. It's a lot of things. The story is wild. It's very like empty and sad feeling, and I just love that. Big fan of that.
Knowing that very shortly, maybe another couple of hours worth of playtime, it's gonna reset. Yeah, and you're gonna be offered the chance to play it all again, but we don't know how different or something. Yeah. Are you still going to be into it?
I'm very much in for the long haul. I want to know the full story of this thing because it's just so fascinating. There's these themes, the themes of like automation and AI and what makes a machine human, what makes a human through the lens of a human machine, but then a machine human. Oh god, you need to.
It's machine inception by the sounds of it.
Yeah, it's wild.
Machineception.
And it like some of these like big boss battles are so gratifying. This is one bit I just done So the machines are like these alien machines sent down to Earth. They kind of took over because they were listening to the aliens. But at the point, this is obviously several thousand years after they've came and kind of moved the humans off of Earth onto the moon. And you're kind of like going into this world, and there's obviously different factions. There's some of these machines that are just given up on, fighting the humans. They just want to live in existence because, we don't want to die anymore. Yeah. And there's this one faction that's like these, like, they believe in religion, they believe in God, and they're like, like looking like kind of like Pope outfit and this sort of thing, like Catholic looking. And there's this one bit you go in there to sort of negotiate with them, say, hey, you're friendly robots, let's have a bit of an alliance. Spoilers for this bit, but plot twist, they get taken over by the big head honcho of these robots, and they get turned against you. And some of them are like, most of them are attacking you, but there's some that are still there that have sort of retained their conscience, and they're like, what is happening? Everything's coming down beneath our ears. Why has God punished us like this? And you walk past this one bit, it's like a factory level, and there's this pool of molten lava, and there's these fucking robots going like, I'm going to end it all, and they just jump into the lava. And you're like running past, it's like a top-down view, so you see like rows and rows of these robots just jumping into the lava, and you're like, this is fucked up, dude. These robots are committing suicide.
It's robot suicide. No.
It's so impactful though. Like, I really want to get to the end to understand as a whole what this thing is.
Okay. Well, I'm looking forward to you getting to the end. So you can
get. This is a game that came out in February 2017 as well. Yeah. Like, I am well behind the curve, but like it's
So if you haven't played it and it's now a year, exclusive next week, Martin's going to explain what's going on.
I'm gonna have the hot off the press.
That's
I'm
right.
going to tell you what's going on with that.
Hot pick.
Spicy hot.
Hot pick.
It's going to be sriracha spicy hot. That's not that hot.
I'm looking forward to it.
What have you been doing?
So I've been carrying on with the Batman Telltale games.
Yeah.
I finished the first one because there's two of them now. So I finished the first one. Really, really good. I'm a Batman fan. I am Batman.
You're a Batman.
I'm Batman.
Fair enough.
And just
you're gonna have to edit that.
yeah, shit. And so it's really good, and I love finding out other people's interpretations of Batman and telling different stories. And I really like the Telltale universe that they're doing. It's really good.
Yeah.
And the first story was really good, and then I immediately, as soon as I ended the final episode of season 1, I booted up season 2 and I started playing that, and it's just 1,000 times better.
Really?
Just graphically, and and it's less buggy, but also the story is just, we've got like this John Doe character who is the Joker, but he hasn't become the Joker yet. I'm expecting it to happen this series. And I've smashed through, and the thing is, so season 1 you could probably complete in about maybe 5 to 8 hours, depending on you know. Whereas episode 1 took me about 3.5 hours alone just to complete. So it's just bigger, basically, and better.
More. That's good.
And I've got to the end of series 3, episode 3. Sorry, episode 4 isn't out until tomorrow. No, 23rd, so Tuesday. And now I'm just like on the edge of my seat because it ends on a massive. I won't spoil it, but a massive cliffhanger. And I'm just like, come on.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, Telltale games give you the illusion of choice. Like, the story's always going to go the way that they wanted to do, obviously.
Yeah. Well, it needs to finish at a determined point.
Exactly. But the way that the scenes play out and the way that the characters interact with you is all down to the choices that you make.
Okay, yeah.
And it's like a role playing game, you know, and I'm role playing as Batman or Bruce Wayne, and at the end of it, I'm like, shit, I shouldn't have said that to that character. Fuck, why didn't I? And I love that because I love, you know, like a game that particularly the Telltale games, because they obviously, you have a certain time limit where you have to pick something, otherwise your character just stands there and I just don't answer.
No one does that.
Yeah, and like, so I'm going, oh shit, I'm clicking the button, and then instant regret, and I'm like, oh no, why didn't I?
Yeah.
But then at the same time, I go, well, actually, no, what I selected was true to how I would play
your
Batman.
Initial reaction,
and that's what I love about it. It just makes you, and the first one not so much, but the second series I will probably replay. But play as a completely different character.
Sort of choices.
Because at the moment I'm playing what I believe my perfect Bruce Wayne and Batman is.
Yeah.
And it's working out all right, you know, I'm getting some nice interactions, but I want to play it like a dickhead.
Anti-Batman.
Yeah, or like, you know, just like a complete kind of like, yeah, no, go fuck yourself, you know, like type of Batman, rather than like, oh no, maybe we can work something out. Because so I'm looking forward to that.
That's good. Yeah,
but the big thing for me is as soon as I finished episode 3, I had nothing else to do. I was like, I need my Batman fix.
Yeah.
So I downloaded Batman Arkham Knight again because it's on PC, and I got all the DLC. And
Armored Edition, isn't it? Is that what it's called?
No, Batman. I don't know, but
it's a final. I don't know.
It's a season pass that I got.
Yeah.
So, and I hadn't played that game since 2015. And I played 15 hours of it at the time, and now I've got 28 hours in. Like literally yesterday, I just played it non-stop.
Really?
And I can't put it down. And it's just because it's the ultimate Batman simulator.
Yeah, like it is very good Batman-y.
Yeah.
You can do everything you want to, especially Night. Like that is the comprehensive version of that sort of like that incarnation of a Batman game.
Yeah, that's it. Just driving around in the Batmobile just feels so satisfying.
Yeah.
The PC edition had some issues, but they've all been fixed now.
Yeah.
Through patches or whatever. So, when I first got it, it was unplayable, but now it's amazing.
That's the benefit of playing games a little bit later as well, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
And everything there.
And I've got all the DLC, so I've got Batman running around looking like Ben Affleck's Batman.
Oh, nice.
And I've got like a cool Batmobile because I've got all the skins. Because I remember I bought it and I just bought the season pass because I was a massive Arkham fan.
Yeah.
And I just didn't even think about it. And of course, when I was playing it 2 years ago, there was nothing out.
Yeah.
And now I loaded it up and there's massive
You've just got like a whole page of stuff.
And after this, I've got like a Nightwing game to play, a little story mode, Harley Quinn story. I've got Robin story. I've got a Red Hood story. All like a couple, 2-3 hours extra gameplay.
Yeah, yeah. There's a Catwoman one as well.
There's a Catwoman one as well, yeah. I've never played it. So I'm just like,
that's a lot of time to sink into it.
That's it. So I'm well. As soon as you go, I'm going to be playing some more. So I can't wait. So that's what I've been doing. Basically, I've been Batman this week.
Batmaning.
That's what I've been doing.
There you go. That's a reasonable way to spend your time. To be fair.
If you're going to do anything, be Batman.
Be Batman.
Yeah. Don't be like. I'm trying to think of those memes online where it's like, Bill does this. Don't be like Bill.
Don't be like Bill.
I was like, be Batman.
Like Batman.
Be more like Batman. So yeah. Do you have anything else you wish to add on this?
This segment I've been watching Peaky Blinders. I've been playing Nier. I picked up Zelda yesterday again because I still need to get into the DLC for that.
No, the DLC where you get a motorbike.
Yeah,
apparently.
I need to get that.
I haven't seen the motorbike. What I've seen is the modded version where people are riding Sonic.
Yeah, that's very, very strange. There's one where someone modded as well the character model to be Woody from Toy Story.
Yeah,
it's like, what the fuck?
And there was one where they put the couple of characters from Grand Theft Auto San Andreas in as well.
Oh yeah.
So it's like CJ's riding his like fat friend or something. I don't know.
Big smoke.
I haven't played that game in a long time.
Yeah.
I bought San Andreas probably about 6 years ago for my MacBook because it was I bought that.
Mac.
Yeah, because I bought that and Vice City because it was on the Mac store. And I couldn't get into either of them because they're so dated.
They are dated, yeah. Like gameplay wise, in terms of like the shooting and the just general navigation and everything like that.
Just the way that the world looks. I have such like San Andreas in my head looks like GTA 5.
Yeah.
But it's not.
It's not. It's like a muddy mess.
Yeah, it is. And they never will, but HD remake would just be
HD. They kind of did reset it in the San Andreas world, GTA 5.
I mean, that's the thing. They won't do it because they'll be working on other bigger games, which
I'm just holding out. Why aren't they doing like a GTA London again? Do you remember the Getaway as well?
Well, yeah. So, the Getaway was So the Getaway was I remember reading this in my Xbox magazine that I used to get, which they actually went round London. This is before Google Maps was Google Maps, and they took terabytes of photos of London and put those into the game
and rendered
so
it in.
When you were running around the streets of London, you could see the Burger King that was on the corner of whatever
Stratford or whatever.
And I remember that being that was
a big thing. I remember the cars in that game were like so real. It was like you're driving a Vauxhall Astra.
Yes, that's right. Yes,
and it's like that's wild. And it had like the number plates as well. It was so true to like just British reality, I guess.
That's right. Yeah, God, that was a
great game.
I saw it was on Facebook, so pinch of salt time. But that there are rumours that Rockstar they're already recruiting for GTA 6.
Yeah,
and there are rumours abound that it is coming to London. So
the studio is in frickin' Scotland. Why aren't they? It's closer to home for them to do that.
Exactly.
Come on.
I think because obviously Red Dead Redemption 2's this year.
Yeah.
And then maybe a PC version, hopefully this year on release, but we don't know yet. But maybe 18 months down the line. Oh, come on, Rockstar. Yeah. But then after that, it'll be GTA 6. So I'm hoping.
They're kind of riding it out with GTA Online, aren't they? Though. But that came out in 2013, 14.
Yeah, but it's making them a mint.
Exactly. People play that. People play that a lot.
And people buy fake money.
Because they keep bringing out new cars and helicopters and boats, and it's like, well, that seems
just
great.
buy this in-game money for 2 million, and 2 million equates to like $16.99, but no one gives a shit because it's like, get your credit card.
I never really got into the online stuff with that. I understand how people had that, but I don't think I had sort of a group of friends to
when
play
it came
with.
out. Well, that's it. When it came out on the PC, I was living in a student house, and we were all PC gamers, and we were just like, this is the best game for us because we can do heists and we can do this, and it was incredible. It was good times. But now it's like I have no friends to play with.
Yeah,
sad times.
The most fun I get out of playing that game these days is I just go into the story mode, get a car, drive around, put the radio on. That's fun.
And just cruise.
That's
drive.
Very fun.
See where the road takes you.
And
absolutely.
Just going and then I'm like, I guess I'll just shoot a bunch of people and then put it down again. But that's fine. That's what GTA serves.
Once I'm done with Batman, I might have to go back to that. Actually, that's sounding pretty good right now.
It's fun. It's very, very fun just to drive.
Sure. Okay. Well, there you go. That is that's the show.
That's the week.
Waving the hands around again. That's what we think of Peaky Blinders and everything like that. Martin's also waving his hands around. So there we go. What are we talking about next week? We decided before the beginning of the show, and I've completely forgotten.
Black Mirror season 4.
Oh, yes, that's it. So we know it came out 4 weeks ago, but we're going to talk about Black Mirror season 4. Martin's going to watch it. I'm warning you now. Do not, as I said last
Depression
week,
abound.
Do not watch it back to back.
I will try.
I would have killed myself had it not been for one of the episodes that just saved it, because it's like the only happy episode in it. So I'm warning you now. But yeah, we're going to talk about Black Mirror season 4, available on Netflix now. So between now and then, make sure that you watch that, so we won't spoil it for you.
Yep.
Or I should say, Martin will spoil it for you.
I will, but I will try and warn you.
That's right. Yeah, he'll try. He's not making any promises.
I have literally zero restraint.
You can find me, or you can find us and videos and all sorts of other stuff. We're on facebook.com/The Geekstation. We're also on YouTube. Do a search for The Geekstation.
UK.
We are, just do a search for The Geekstation, and we're not the Spanish one.
Yeah.
That's nice and easy to remember, isn't it? Do we sound Spanish? No.
Yeah, I've already issued them with a notice of...
Have you?
Yeah.
Have you been like, oi?
Look, mi amigo.
Yeah, don't make me set the Peaky Blinders on you.
we're the fucking Geekstation. We'll come down.
And you can also find me, which is at the moment just a stream of video consciousness on Twitter, which is at Mr. Sinny. Where can they find you?
You can find me at Marto TGS.
That's at Marto.
Marto, not Martin.
Yeah, that's Marto.
My name is Martin, but this is Marto.
And not like toes like the end of your feet, toes. It's T-O.
No, T-O.
At Marto.
M-A-R-T-O.
TGS.
Mado.
Thank you very much to the new subscribers that have joined us on YouTube. I don't know if you are listening to this, but if you are, we love you.
Yeah. Give us a shout out.
And don't forget to, if you're listening to this on iTunes, it would be awesome if you could give us a 5-star review, or just any star review, and a review, because Martin is going to sing said review.
I'll sing your review.
I mean, I don't know, what more do you want? Martin's going to sing the review.
I'll give it my absolute best as well.
Good. Anyway, we should definitely bring it to a close. So the only thing left to say is it's goodbye from me.
It's goodbye from me, David.
And
David.
You gone fucked it up.
Shit.
You gone fucked it up.
It's just me.
Let's just end the show.
Bye. Yeah. Bye.